feels fantastic. Obviously, it's been a long time coming. Everybody's in now. Obviously, training camp this week. But no, it's all good. It's you forget how it feels to be back and the excitement that you have pre-season. Sorry, but no, just good to be back at it here.
Peter, if you would like to jump in already.
Hi, Paul.
Hi, Peter.
Good to see you again.
And you.
I still recognise you, believe it or not.
That's good. That's good. A little bit older and grey though, so.
You said that. I didn't say that. Great to chat, Paul. It's been a long time, as you quite rightly say. How difficult has it been this last, well over a year, to get everything? At one time, obviously we were icing, weren't we? Then, unfortunately, the season had to be curtailed. Then it's a case of no hockey at all. But now, obviously, the good news is we're back and everyone's raring to go. How difficult has that been for everybody?
Yeah, I think in the UK, I think we're all in the same boat. Obviously, regarding the recruitment process and starting up again, and what normally happens, obviously in the summertime, we normally get, it's not 3 months off, but there's a down period of 3.5 months where you get some downtime, you do your recruitment, and then you start again. Where due to COVID, the wheel stopped turning fully almost for a year and a half. And then obviously you try to kickstart back up again, and it was just like starting from new. So it was very hard on that side of it. But like I said, there's been a lot of hours being put in by everybody with every club and right the way across the board. And like I say, we're finally here. We've got the team all sorted, and everybody seems to have put some good rosters together this year as always. So again, it's going to be a very competitive league. And like I say, I think everybody who's involved, not just from the clubs, the backroom staff, the coaching, the players and fans, there's huge excitement building up for this season. I think more so than ever. And I think I was just talking previously about the attendances on some of these pre-season games, which I don't think we've ever seen before as well. So it just shows how excited everybody involved in hockey in the UK is.
And how difficult, Paul, has it been to get to a roster together? I mean, obviously, as regard a Flames point of view, I think, was it not important to get key names like Ian back, Brett back, and obviously John Dunbar back as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, regarding ourselves here in Guildford, we try to keep a core of players every year. And we're normally 10 and 11 returnees every season. This year, it's certainly the least we've ever had. We've only got 4 returning players from the pre-COVID team. Guys have retired. Some guys have moved on for various reasons. Recruitment. It was difficult. It was difficult, and again, throughout the world, there's players who you normally try to recruit coming out of universities or college, and they were out for a year themselves, and they've moved on. They've obviously, a lot of the guys have retired and gone into workplaces as well. So I think maybe the numbers of players that were available also this summer were down right the way across the board. But the good thing for us is a lot of the guys that we did sign pre-COVID, who we were going to come in that summer, we obviously kept in touch with, and we managed to sign them coming back for the start of this season. So, there's 4 or 5 guys there that we were going to bring in a year and a bit ago that have actually signed for us and we've brought in this year. But again, it's kind of what we try to do in Guildford here is we try to have that continuity with players who have played together before. And like you say, you don't on a personal level, you don't really want to be bringing in 15, 16 brand new players that have never played before somewhere along the line. So that's what we try to do it was a difficult recruitment process, but like I said, we're nearly there. We do have one more space to fill, which obviously we're looking at a few options right now, but as of now, we haven't filled that last space.
One of the key signings, I think, on paper, Paul, has to be an experienced guy. Obviously, Robert Lacovich, former Nottingham Panther. I mean, when that was announced, I think that really took a lot of people possibly by surprise. And if anything, it probably perhaps sent out a message to the league that, you managed to get hold of a real experienced guy like Robert.
Yeah, well, I mean, it speaks for itself. I mean, you've only got to go on Rob's Elite Prospects page and see what he's achieved in the game. He's been there and done it, and he's done it at every level, not just here, but domestically and internationally as well. And again, he's another guy with a lot of GB caps under his belt, very experienced, and he knows how to do things the correct way. And when Rob reached out to us and we started to talk, it was an easy decision, obviously from our side. And then as we progressed, Rob was interested in what we could offer Rob as a player to bring him into Guildford. And like I said, he's a great addition to what we have here. We do have a lot of young guys this year as well who are coming out first year pro, and with Rob's experience in that changing room, he's going to be very valuable to us.
And just a couple from me, Paul. New changes this season to the face-off procedures. I don't know if you've looked at those or gone through them or whatever. What's your take on those?
Yeah, well, it's just like there's a few new rules that's been brought in, but like you say, it's progress, isn't it? It's things evolve as we all do, and we as we move forward. For whatever reasons, IIHF or the Elite League themselves bring in new rules, and like I say, it's only to bring the game forward, and we've got to keep moving forward. So yeah, I don't really see a problem with anything that's been brought in. If anything, like you say, it's trying to progress the game.
And just finally, Paul, just quickly look at the weekend action. Saturday, Coventry Blaze at home in the Cup, and then of course you make the trip up to Coventry as well on Sunday. What's your thoughts ahead of those two games? Yeah,
well, obviously excitement, just to be back, like you say, playing in front of our home fans first, which is nice, and then up to Coventry on Sunday. But we know from obviously our experience with Coventry's got a very good team, they're a very competitive team, and we have some great games against them. So we're expecting a tough weekend, but again, it's a nervous weekend just to see where you are as well with a new team. But like I said, the guys, we've had a few good days training here. We've got a few more before we head into the weekend, and like I said, there's an excitement atmosphere around the place at the minute.
The Guildford Flames' successes in the last number of years, you were talking about recruitment there, but a lot of the successes were built on sound goalkeeping, and most notably, over the last number of years, you've had an import tandem. This year, Kevin Linskog, a guy who's well known to us in Belfast with regards to his time at Katowice in the Continental Cup, has come in, and Adam Long coming in from Manchester on backup. Is that it? Are you just going to run with Linskog this season?
Yeah, right now as we stand, that's the plan here. We're only going to go with one import netminder here, but just like I said, we've changed a few things with the dynamics of the team this year, and that is one of them. And obviously, from a defence core as well, we normally have been going with 5 import defencemen and 1 British defenceman. This year, we're opting to go with 6 import D-men on the back end and only the 1 import goalie up there.
And with regards to the recruitment process, how difficult was it to try to bring these players in, given the current situation in the world? I guess trying to bring players in from abroad and find the right players who are willing to come.
Yeah, like I say, I think if you speak to every coach in the UK, I think we've all gone through the same process with recruitment, with players, and bringing them in here to the UK. And it's hard enough any summer recruiting the right players, and like I say, every coach has their own philosophy on the guys that they want to bring in to fit their system, to fit their team. And like I say, we try to do that with ours. But I think sometimes when we do look at recruitment as well, we're looking 2 or 3 years of down the line of guys that might be coming out of universities, not just next year, but the year after and the year after. And you're never going to get everybody that you're going to go after, because it's a very competitive market. So we don't just look at a player for the 2 months in the down season or whatever, or the season before. It's kind of, we've already started to pencil guys in down the line there. And like you say, for whatever reason, some guys are available to you 2 and 3 years down the line, and some guys walk away from the sport themselves and they become unavailable. But like I said, the recruitment, it's difficult enough at the best of times, and coming out of the pre-COVID, the lockdown this year, it was tough. But like I said, not just tough here in Guildford, I think it was tough right the way across the board for all 10 teams in the Elite League.
Yeah, Paul, can I just ask, you've brought in, I think it's 5 guys from U Sports this year. Was that a conscious decision to go for a few younger guys coming straight out of college, or was that more of a necessity?
No, I just, I think if you look at our makeup, where we've been in the last 4 or 5 years with the recruitment process, I have followed the U Sport League very closely over the years, and I think now, and there always has been, it speaks for itself. There's some quality players that play in the university. league, and it's just kind of getting the right fit for what you want to bring in. And like I said, it's not such a necessity, but like I say, I've studied that league hard, and I know what certain guys who play for certain universities play like. And like I said, it's a process, and it's not just guys that land up on your email or come through the system on the week. It's kind of, there's a process there where we are 2-3 years looking at certain guys who we feel might be a good fit. Convincing them to come here is a totally different matter, but actually that's where we are on that recruitment. But not necessarily, it doesn't have to just be the U Sport League. Obviously Sweden, we go the Division 1 in Sweden, the Hockey Etan, which is their third tier. We know there's some really good players playing that league, obviously, and it's just trying to get some of the Swedish players to play outside of Sweden. And again, it's like I said, we're not restricted to just U Sport. It's, we're looking at every league. It just so happens to be that, we do have a heavy involvement in players coming out of there, but also, we're looking right across the board in any league where there is some good hockey players. You've just got to try and discover them in some of them maybe lesser leagues, so to speak, where you can just grab somebody who might just come in to the UK and surprise everybody.
Just one more from me. The roster limits mean that you can only have, I think it's 19 skaters this year. Is that a big adjustment for you guys as coaches, or is that something it's easy to adapt to?
Yeah, I think obviously we've had quite a long time, obviously, with that going on now. I think obviously from the recruitment side, every coach has just stuck to that 19 on the roster, so you've kind of just fulfilled them spaces with the 19. Like you say, it's still two important netminders. Guys are going to run with six D-men, and then you're going to have the 11 forwards. So you kind of, I think I don't see a massive adjustment on that side.
Okay, and last one will be from me, Paul. A bit of an open-ended question, but what's success going to mean for the Flames this season?
Oh, it is. It's a very open-ended. Thanks, Luke. I think when we set out into this league, it was just if we can be competitive every night, which is what we want to be, and certainly for our home fans, we want to put a good product on the ice where fans can come and obviously be proud of the team that they're watching, and that comes from our belief where we want to sign a faster, skilled team that can play and compete every night. And I think if we can do that on a night in, night out basis, then like I say, we've achieved what we wanted to set out. But success is, again, success, it's winning games, it's been in there for trophies, it's been in there for the championships, but it's disrespectful to say that you want to do this, because there's 10 other teams all challenging for the same things, and there's some great teams who win trophies in this league year in, year out. And I think for us, you want to be mentioned in that same, absolutely, but again, the success for us is just putting that product on the ice on a daily basis. And like I said, hopefully, we can achieve maybe getting to another final and getting to a playoff final again. And like you say, you just don't know. But what every coach will look at the beginning of every year, every coach probably sits down and thinks, well, you know what, this is our most competitive team, and maybe this year is the year that we can push into the top 3, 4, 5 positions wherever it is. And we're no different from anybody else. And at the end of the day, that's where we want to push. We want to win the league, absolutely. Who doesn't? We want to win all 3 trophies, absolutely. Who doesn't? But the reality is there's 9 other teams in this league who are all probably thinking the same thing. So a very good question, Luke. But hopefully I've answered that the best I can.